This declaration gives the province extraordinary powers to keep people, communities, and first responders safe.
Now is not the time to be taking footage or photographs of active wildfires.
What we absolutely cannot have on our roads is people blocking roads to take photographs, cannot see drones in the air where there's wildfire fighting equipment happening. Having drones in the air can ground our aircraft during absolutely critical moments of their firefighting cycles. This cannot happen. We need people to do the right thing and stay out of those areas.
We will be issuing a new order under the emergency authorities the government has. And this is specific to ensuring that we have accommodation available for evacuees, for emergency personnel, so that they have places to stay as they respond to the front line and have to evacuate their own camps. And for families, for seniors, for others who are fleeing fire-affected communities, that they have a place to stay. We need to ensure this accommodation is available. Specifically, this order will restrict travel in fire-affected areas when you are traveling for the purposes of staying in temporary accommodation, like a hotel, a motel, provincial park, public campground. This order says stay off the roads for tourist-related, non-essential travel to stay in temporary accommodation. This order, again, is aimed at ensuring that we have the accommodation available for people who desperately need it, who are leaving their homes, who may lose their homes, for the firefighters that are working on the front line, for everybody.
Last night, we declared a provincial state of emergency given the severe and fast-changing wildfire situation that we are currently facing. This declaration gives the province extraordinary powers to keep people, communities, and first responders safe. The situation is highly dynamic, and the numbers are changing all of the time. But as of now, we are currently hovering at about 30,000 people on evacuation order and an additional 36,000 people on evacuation alert. People, families, firefighters, and other frontline responders need a safe place to stay during this extremely challenging and difficult time. And that is why, as Premier Eby has already described, we are introducing temporary restrictions in the Okanagan. Under this order, we are restricting travel to several communities for anyone planning on staying in temporary accommodations. This includes Kelowna, Kamloops, Oliver, Osoyoos, Penticton, and Vernon. Let me be clear, temporary accommodation in the areas I have listed are no longer available for non-essential visits. If you do not need to travel to these areas for essential reasons, we need you to change your plans. This will ensure that accommodations like hotels and motels are available for evacuees and frontline responders in the Okanagan. If you are currently in accommodations in these areas, we are asking you to voluntarily check out early and free up those spaces for evacuees and responders. I want to thank the Hotel Association and accommodation providers for their cooperation and collaboration with us already. And I want to thank everyone who has already canceled their plans to travel to the Okanagan. Your efforts are helping. And I strongly urge everyone to avoid traveling anywhere in the central interior and southeast for non-essential reasons, including the Shuswap and the Okanagan. This decision was not made lightly, but it is necessary to ensure public safety. The province is continuing to assess the tools available to us under the provincial state of emergency, and we will not hesitate to take further action in order to keep people safe.
I mentioned this yesterday, and I know that police have echoed the same concerns. Drones are a significant hazard to our air crews fighting fires. Kelowna area RCMP have said this continues to be an issue, unfortunately. Now is not the time to be taking footage or photographs of active wildfires. Not only is it irresponsible, but it is illegal to fly them in fire areas. Likewise, this is not the time to be boating on lakes where air tankers are landing to use the lake to refill. Keep boats away from areas where other planes and helicopters are operating.
Premier, this will be for you or for Minister Ma. How do you believe this order is going to work here? Will there be police going to hotels and checking if people are checking in? What are the logistics here in terms of people that are already in hotels and what they are supposed to do in this situation?
This order is specifically to discourage people, to tell them don't do it, discourage people from traveling to the Okanagan to stay in hotels, motels, campsites. And the goal of it is to free up accommodation. If you're already in a hotel, the order does not affect you, but we're really encouraging people who are in hotels, who are in motels, to talk to the operator and to go home early. When you check out early, you're freeing up a hotel room for someone that is fleeing a wildfire. You're freeing up a hotel room for a firefighter that is battling forest fires in the area. Those rooms, as they come available, are being snapped up by emergency services personnel from the province of BC to make them available for evacuees and for first responders. So we need all the accommodation we can get. The order itself is meant to really communicate very clearly, this is not the time to be traveling to the Okanagan for tourism. This is not the time to be traveling for anything other than an essential purpose. And I think people understand that, but the order is really meant to underline it.
Our next question is from Keith Baldry, Global News.
Oh, hi there. In terms of people traveling up there, we've picked up some good anecdotal information from people that not just staying in hotels, but actually driving up, sort of wildfire tourism, going out to see the fires and parking and perhaps blocking roads and routes and such. Are there any reports or concerns about that, people actually traveling up there just to watch the fire activity?
We are asking everyone to stay clear of traveling to the central interior and southeast for non-essential reasons, including the Shuswap and Kelowna, and a non-essential reason absolutely includes firesighting. Or I don't know if that's actually a real term, but basically going up there to watch the fires. What we absolutely cannot have on our roads is people blocking roads to take photographs, getting out of their cars, visiting communities where there's high wildfire activity, getting in the way of crews. We can't see boats on waters that are being used by firefighting equipment to skim water to fight fires. We cannot see drones in the air where there's wildfire fighting equipment happening. Having drones in the air can ground our aircraft during absolutely critical moments of their firefighting cycles. This cannot happen. We need people to do the right thing and stay out of those areas and give fire crews the space that they need to fight those fires and respond to the hazards at hand. I don't know, Mr. Ralston, would you like to add, or Cliff, if you have anything else to say about your experiences there?
Thank you.
This is certainly something that we have experienced, in particular in the last 48 hours with the impacts to such populated areas in West Kelowna, and now the Shuswap. And as you said, Minister Ma, it is with, I think with all the gravity I can put behind it, please do not come into areas that are affected by wildfire. We need that space. We need the airspace. We need the roadways. That is how our first responders get around. That is how we work to suppress the fires and how we work to try to protect people's homes.
This declaration gives the province extraordinary powers to keep people, communities, and first responders safe.
Now is not the time to be taking footage or photographs of active wildfires.
What we absolutely cannot have on our roads is people blocking roads to take photographs,